Well, hi everybody. It's me, Nicque, and my husband Justin, and we're actually on location today. We are in the middle of our vacation in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's a beautiful day. And one of the things that we did while we were here was go see Wonder Woman. And so here's our review of Wonder Woman. So I just want to start off by saying, just pretty much to spoil the entire review, it was amazing. I actually got a little choked up at the beginning because in the beginning there's like a training sequence with the Amazons and they're like on horses and stuff, like really kicking ass. And there's a moment where I realized, like, I've never seen women portrayed in that, like, quite like that before in a superhero. And I felt like a tear actually come to my eye because I was like, oh my gosh, we're moving forward in this, like, this is for real.
I think I'm a feminist, and most of the time I feel like all the genders should be considered equal, and this was like a good step in the right direction for that, just because that movie had opened up no guys, no like women, like no one needs to be saved. Like, you could tell from the get-go these women could handle themselves, and I just like loved every bit of it. Like, never a moment went by where I felt like Wonder Woman needs to be saved. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to say, which is really my favorite part, is like how the armor itself was like, you know, it wasn't like really confined to the woman body. It's like, it was like practical armor.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing. I was like, none of this is wrong. Everything here makes sense. If they got shot in the chest, they're gonna be fine.
Yes, and one of my favorite parts of the movie was when Diana came over to London, I guess, and they were shopping for clothes for her to wear in the normal world so she could look normal or whatever, because she's already like more gorgeous than everyone else walking around her, so she's still going to stand out. They take her into like a department store, and the secretary shows her a corset that's on a mannequin, and Diana's like, what is that for? And the secretary is like, oh, it helps, you know, keep your stomach in, suck your stomach in. And Diana's like, why would I want to do that? And she's walking around, she's looking at all the clothes, and she's like, how do women in this world fight with these clothes? Like, what kind of armor is this? Like, I just love that she sees the world that way.
Yeah, it's like,
and that she's completely removed from, you know, these ideas that women have been exposed to, that, you know, you have to keep everything prim and proper and sucked in, and you don't fight, you know, and you let the men rule, you know, run the world and do all the fighting and everything.
Yeah.
And in Diana's mind and in her world, like, that's not a thing. It was really cool to see a hero that was just as compassionate and loving and you know, and tender and concerned for, you know, the lives of others, and yet such a badass. And I'm just happy to see that DC Comics finally has a character that can stand on their own, and I'm not bored watching it. Dark Knight was awesome because it was just so thematic, and it was just so dramatic, and it was really the villains that made those movies. In every Superman movie I fall asleep. I feel like DC hasn't really done a good job of developing their characters. I've always said that their characters are too, like, larger than life. Yeah. No one can relate to them like you can relate to Marvel characters like Iron Man and Spider-Man, who are, you know, people just like you and me. Yeah. But Diana, in this movie, she has a personality.
Yeah, and like, she's so well-rounded. Like, like, if anything, she's just like super humanitarian, and like, you can get behind that. Like, the idea of that is just like, you want to get, like, you feel for that.
Yeah.
I think what made me really like Wonder Woman so much, Wonder Woman, was the fact that her origin story, just like, it flushed her out way more than any other superhero.
Well, spill some beans. In the past, I have not necessarily been a huge fan of Wonder Woman, mostly because, like, the only DC heroes we ever heard about was like Superman and Batman, and maybe it's because she is a woman that no one really took the time to really delve into her origin story, because honestly, growing up, I really just saw her as just token girl.
Yeah. I understand that,
which is problematic, you know. But I guess, like, knowing the story behind, like, why she exists, you know, and just the way that she sees the world, and, you know, how all this came to be, is, you know, it makes me, like, you can connect with her on that. Like, her story kind of reminds me of those girls that I know that were raised only by women, because for some reason their father is not in their life, and so they, you know, they spent their lives surrounded by all of these strong women, and that's how they learned to be who they are. I know in previous reviews for like Guardians of the Galaxy, I said that there was only a few movies that I wanted to see over again. Guardians was one of them. Moana was another. I think the second Sherlock Holmes movie was also another one. Yeah, I saw that one like 5-6 times. Moana was 8. We just saw Wonder Woman, I guess, 2 nights ago, and I'm ready to go back.
Oh yeah.
The sun is in my eyes, but
You want to pause and move?
no, it's fine. The lighting is fantastic here. The sacrifice. Oh god, I'm ready to go back and watch this movie again.
Honestly, it's like the only thing I would want to not watch is like the fight scenes anymore. Like this is.
There's a lot of slow motion. A lot. I had read in an article, and I didn't think that it was such a big deal until I actually went and saw the movie. But the writer was saying that, you know, Wonder Woman, there's a scene where Wonder Woman, she does the, you know, the superhero landing, which is pretty much, you know, down, you know, one knee and everything, and she saw her thigh jiggle on the screen and saying like high praise. And I was like, oh, it's not that big a deal. And I went and saw it, you know, and after the huge, you know, fight at the end and everything, and she does the superhero landing, and it's just a perfect profile, you know, shot of just her lower body and just her landing her fist on the ground and everything, and her thigh jiggles, and it's so tiny, but it means so much because you know how long like women have tried to just get rid of any type of like imperfection of our bodies, and imperfections meaning what we've been conditioned to believe are imperfections, like jiggling and cellulite and, you know, and sucking in your stomach and all of that. Aesthetically, it was perfect. Except for the slow-mo that was, you know, everywhere. But I think that the director used the slow-mo because they really wanted to somehow intensify or like highlight the fact that like these are women doing all this shit. Like beautiful women of all ages. You got Robin Wright up in there.
Dude, you had all colors too, not even
all
like
colors, all sizes,
and like
Victoria's Secret models, bodybuilders, all shapes and sizes. They were all there. You'll also see in Wonder Woman how I guess the guys that she travels with, the soldiers, none of them are typical white American soldiers, except for Chris Pine. He's the only one that's actually white American, you know.
That works for the British government.
Yeah. What rating would you give this?
All right, so out of 1 out of 10, I would give this like 9.5 shields.
9.5 shields.
Because that shield is important. All right, yeah, because like again, like it's just because like I just don't believe anything is close to like okay, like my only gripe is long fight.
Long fights and
that's the only thing.
And slow mo.
And slow mo. Beyond that point, like everything else is perfect.
Yeah, I think I give it a 9.5 as well. And I usually go lower than you because I'm a really, really harsh critic.
I can't wait for Wonder Woman 2.
I can't wait to keep on seeing Diana kick ass in the DC universe and just completely own everybody. Like, I'm so excited for this character, and I really, really actually want to go see it again.
We'll bring more of our family.
Can we see it tonight?
No.
Okay.
Alright.
Fine.